Removal of the bodies of Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun from the bunker after their suicide, 1945. People brought their dogs to be euthanized as they were unable to pay the increased pet tax, Berlin, 1926. Liquidators prepare to clear the reactor roof. Many of them would soon die from radiation sickness caused by exposure during the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster, 1986. Punishment for failing to meet the rubber collection quota in the Belgian Congo, 1908. A German pilot jumps from a burning plane. Parachutes did not exist at the time. World War I, 1915. The musicians who played on the Titanic until the very end, 1912. German prisoners of war, 1945. A woman's wild reaction to Mardi Gras, participants in New Orleans, 1980s. How erotic comics were viewed in the USA, 1942. Musicians play for cows to see if music affects the amount of milk they produce, 1930. Rwandan genocide, 1994. Bloody footprints of children who tried to escape the massacre by climbing the walls. Photo by Annie Leibovitz. Jewish women before execution in occupied Latvia, December 1941. Native Americans getting accustomed to a car, 1915. In 1969, a protest against the use of bras was held in San Francisco. Before Google Maps, there was a navigation helpline, 1963. Horseshoes from the hooves of killed and eaten horses of the 6th German Army, Stalingrad, 1943. 2 American border guards try to hold back an escapee who had already partially crossed into Mexico, 1939. Munduruku warriors observed the work of the Bureau of Indian Affairs staff in Brasilia, 2013. A Rough Morning, 1954. The cleaning lady at the Royal College of Surgeons of England tidies human skulls, early 20th century. In 1923, jockey Frank Hayes won a race at Belmont Park in New York, despite being dead. He suffered a heart attack mid-race, but remained in the saddle until the end. Georges Debord looks at his old diseased heart after a transplant, 1968. A girl runs from the beginning of shelling, First Chechen War, 1995. Hitler Rally, 1937. No gathering in human history had assembled as many people. A roller coaster ride in the Victorian era, USA, 1900. Gérard Homel, one of the most famous mountaineers who had repeatedly climbed Everest and other great peaks, died after falling from a 2-meter ladder while changing a light bulb at home. Brigitte Bardot became one of the brightest female icons of the 20th century, and at the World's Fair in the Vatican Pavilion, her photo was displayed as a symbol of sin. The last public appearance of Chinese leader Mao Zedong, 1976. 1960s hairstyles on American women. Bottling of Chinese Mao Tai liquor in a factory, 1950. Salvador Dali in Paris with a giant 12-meter baguette made in his honor, 1958. Wedding motorcade, Chelyabinsk region, Russia, 1990s. The Fieldbrook stump, 1890s. A German sniper falls, Italy, 1944. A Parisian after visiting a bar, 1954. Black Americans on strike, USA, 1968. A mother reunites with her daughter after 7 months of service in Iraq. Africa, Sudan, school class, 1954. Professional mourner, Russian Empire, Estonia, 1912. In traditional funeral rites, she was hired to lament for the deceased. This is 13-year-old Omaira Sanchez, one of 25,000 killed by mud flows caused by the eruption of the Nevado del Ruiz volcano on November 13, 1985. She was trapped in debris and stood in water up to her neck for 3 days before dying. Levi Strauss made the first jeans in 1850 as work trousers for American miners. Ham the chimpanzee returns to Earth after a spaceflight, USA, 1961. Horses used as barricades during the Spanish Civil War, Barcelona, 1936. In 2000, the Zimbabwean bank ZB Bank Limited held a lottery for depositors. In an incredible coincidence, the grand prize of $100,000 was won by President Robert Mugabe. Once, the roof of an Aloha Airlines first-class cabin tore off at an altitude of 7,800 meters. The pilot managed an emergency landing. 94 of the 95 people on board survived. The body of the flight attendant who was sucked out was never found, 1988. Horses used as barricades during the Spanish Civil War, Barcelona, 1936. An orphaned boy adopted by an air regiment writes, "For mom, for dad," on bombs. Defeated, captured Wehrmacht. Generals stand in thought at the walls of the artillery-damaged Berlin Cathedral, 1945. Classes in a destroyed school, Angola, 1997. Dolce & Gabbana women's lingerie at Campaign, 1987. In 1989, about 2 million people from Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania formed a human chain linking the 3 countries to show their desire to leave the Soviet Union. Albanians stormed the cargo ship Vlora, demanding to be taken to neighboring Italy. Albania, August 1991. 4-year-old Barack Obama with his grandfather on the beach. The unemployed stand in line at Al Capone's free soup kitchen, the Great Depression, Chicago, USA, 1931. Jacqueline Kennedy in a blood-stained suit watches Lyndon Johnson take the oath of office after the assassination of her husband, John F. Kennedy, USA, 1963. Trainer Yuri Kuklichov losing a chess game to his cat, 1980s. By the end of World War II, Germany was so desperate for recruits that many children were enlisted. Among them was 15-year-old Hans Henke, who cried after being captured by the U.S. Army in 1945. His parents were dead, and he had joined the Army to survive. Black children at the fence of a whites-only playground, Alabama, 1956. Cold delivery to the 5th floor, France, 1917. A psychiatric hospital patient made a straw man in her bed, 1910. Twin Towers, New York, 1979. Women in wooden swimsuits designed to help them float better, 1929. Spanish poet Federico Garcia Lorca, reading poetry before his execution, 1936. A soldier's knees give way when popular actress Linda Darnell invites him to dance, 1940s. Future Cuban revolutionary leader Fidel Castro in Central Park, New York, USA, 1955. Cuban Revolution, 1959. Collapse of a grandstand during the Indianapolis 500 race, USA, 1960. Prisoners being taken to work, USSR, 1989. Cossacks trained to overcome obstacles on horseback, 1910. Improvised cavalry parade in memory of horses killed in World War I, United States, 1917. A girl picks up coal that fell from a truck, Dublin, Ireland, 1972. Coin-operated shaving machine, USA, 1940. Harsh canned vodka for soldiers, 1950. Feminists with a poster, USA, 1970. An obvious reference to the story of the fall, where Eve first succumbed to Satan's temptation and ate the forbidden fruit. A Real Woman Will Always Cover You, Italy, 1960. The longest recorded work career. Japanese man Shigesio Izumi worked 98 years on a beet plantation, retiring at 105. From the U.S. Historical Archives, oyster cannery workers, Josie, 6, Bertha, 6, Sophie, 10. Port Royal, South Carolina, 1912. Work began at 4 a.m. Dogs that survived the Titanic disaster. Of the 12 dogs on board, only 3 survived, 1912. A U.S. Embassy employee hits a South Vietnamese man trying to board the last helicopter during the evacuation of Saigon, 1975. Louise Bundy, mother of serial killer Ted Bundy, talks to him on the phone minutes before his execution. "You will always be my precious son. A mother is always a mother." Burning a village whose residents were suspected of aiding partisans. Vietnam, 1968. Manchurian refugee children sleep on a pig during the conflict over the Chinese Eastern Railway, 1929. Prostitutes from the Blooming Cherry Brothel, Yokohama, Kanagawa Prefecture, Japanese Empire, 1890s. Girls learning golf using a mechanical trainer, 1925. One of Mr. Reynolds' most dangerous stunts, no safety measures and no room for error. Custom limousines for car collector and designer J. Orberg, 1990s. German bullet lodged in a British soldier's clip, 1916. Korean refugees crossing a bomb-damaged bridge, 1950. 1922. White Wolf, a Native American chief, recognized as the oldest person in the world at the time, 137 years old. Shell-shocked soldier in World War I, Belgium, 1914. Lab technician in a plastic suit selecting a rat for experiments in an Indiana lab, USA, 1949. Cedar Log Lumberyard in Seattle, 1939. Grace Kelly, Princess of Monaco, Jamaica, 1955. Volcano in West Kamakuna, Hawaii, 1996. Special anti-gas cribs for infants, England, 1942. Female students on the street during Emperor Hirohito's speech on Japan's surrender, 1945. House built in 1509, Orne, France, still standing and inhabited today. Ancient temple gates, Purulia, West Bengal. One of the first tornadoes ever photographed, 1898. 28-year-old Jenny Joseph, posing for the Columbia Pictures logo, 1992. The smile of Montenegrin student partisan Chedomir Chupic before execution, 1942. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope these photos impressed you. Some may have made you angry, brought a smile, made you happy, or perhaps even caused some negativity. Feel free to leave your comments and stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Bye.